It's time to review those movies.
Oh, fuck, bro.
All right, you know what we do. We start with the ones we hated the most first. We're going to go tarot on this. We've all seen it. I have not seen In a Violent Nature, so we're going to do something a little more fun tonight for that one. So let's talk about this movie real quick. What do you guys think of Tarot? What was this movie? So the movie, okay, I should probably tell people what this stupid movie is about. A group of friends, like 6 or 7 friends or whatever it is, angsty little like college kids, go and they to a house, like a Airbnb in like Maine or something like that, and it's some cabin out on the beach or something like that, and they find an old box with tarot cards in them, and the one girl who looks like she's the youngest in the group somehow knows everything about tarot, everything. She jumps in hard and like does their tarot reading, and so the tarot they got start coming out to kill them. Sounds like it could be a cool concept. But what do you guys think of this movie?
Terrible, bad acting, bad script. Cool concept, played out horribly, felt rushed, felt super rushed.
Yep.
Felt like it was everybody's first time doing this, which isn't a bad thing, but this should have been like dropped on YouTube. No disrespect.
Well, James's comment, I do agree with him. Jake Batalon from Spider-Man movies, he was the best part of this. And he actually, in my opinion, had the best scare kill. Are we spoiling? Yeah, let's just spoil. I mean, the rule is it's got to be like 3 to 5 years or older.
3 to 5 years?
All right, let's just say his character has the best, like has the court jester or whatever, and then like has this really cool elevator kill scene.
Yeah.
Kill in air quotes. So we'll leave it at that. This movie was just so goddamn terrible. Paul, what did you think of this?
So this is one of 3 movies I've ever fallen asleep to in theater, so that should tell you something. I fell asleep and woke up about 15, 20 minutes later, and I didn't miss a fucking thing. It was boring to me. This would be like, I don't know. I thought it'd at least be as good as like the Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. I thought it'd kind of be kind of on that level where it was kind of fun at least and had its scary elements, and it missed the mark terribly. Like he said, the acting was bad, the script was bad,
nothing was scary about it. There's no tension building.
No, there was
the characters weren't that fun. Like they weren't like, you know, even like when you watch a movie like The Faculty where it's all different types of kids or urban legends, stuff like that. Like there's still redeemable qualities about those kids.
Yeah, like in this movie, you didn't care about the characters at all. You didn't care about the characters at all in this film. There was nothing that was just like, holy shit, Nick has titties out. Holy shit, these characters, I love them. It was just like whatever. You didn't like them, you didn't hate them.
I don't give a shit. I buttoned up. We're fine.
Yeah, this movie was it was bad, and it felt like they just didn't give enough thought into it. Like the creatures it didn't look like they really tried with the makeup or any of that, and it was kind of disappointing because you almost hope even if it's not the best movie, that the creatures or the kill scenes are epic or great, and none of them were even subpar. Like this felt like
they relied too much on jump scares. For those that would be jump scares for people, they relied way too much on that, and definitely not enough on story. Like with a movie like this, I'll say with a slasher, which we will get to that, you can get away with it to an extent, because we will get to that, to an extent with the story portion of it. But I feel like with a film like this, we're just trying to throw like that kind of paranormal aspect to it, or whatever you want to call it. You need a good story that's going to really have us paying attention, grabbing you in. Because if you don't have that, then we don't care. The jump scares, yes, they're cool and all, but they don't matter as much as if you don't have that story. Then it's like, oh my gosh, there's the person they were talking about. There's the this, there's the that. But they're just throwing stuff out there. I'm like, it bothered me.
It did. It bothered me too. This movie, and because it's the only one I have an opinion on tonight, I will just say it just falls flat on every level. Like again, Jacob Batalon, who from Spider-Man was a shining character, but not necessarily needed, and you didn't give me a payoff for that. You didn't give me any type of payoff, and the movie just sucked. So let's give our ratings for this one. Then we have our very special review next, and that we all Sturdy gave it a half point, and we both gave it a 1. I'm still going to give it a 1 because the movie looks good. It's not a bad looking movie. So like I got to give it to the crew who made this.
Yeah.
You know, I think they did a fantastic job. So I'm going to give them a 1 on that, but not much else. So
fair.
Right, guys.
I'm being honest, guys. I tried.
Here's what we're going to do, guys. We're going to be talking about a little movie called In a Violent Nature. So if you know anything, we do a show here called Real Combat, baby. That's right.
Yeah.
Real Combat. That is where two contestants come on, and they are going to convince me whether I should watch their movie or not. And they both usually come with two different movies. But tonight, it's a very special edition. We're going to put you, Sturdy, right up here next to my man, Paul, because you guys watched this movie.
We did.
Right?
We did.
Now, you both are going to be able to argue your points. We'll flip a coin to see who goes first. The person who goes first can argue first and will get a rebuttal. The person who goes second will only get a rebuttal if challenged in the rebuttal. Do we understand?
I think so.
Flip a coin here. I'm just going to flip this coin that's sitting right next to me, if that's okay. Head for my co-host. Call heads or tails.
I love heads.
Tails. Sorry, sir. All right. So, sorry, but before we go, I want to give your ratings for this. And it was actually supposed to be the other way. So, Paul gave it a 4. A very lopsided 4 too. I was doing this on the fly very quickly. And then Sturdy gave it a 1. I'm very surprised by this, but I am going to shut up now and we are going to play a little Real Combat. Here we go. Sturdy, you're first. Why should I not see this movie?
See, that's a tough argument for me because I'll never tell you not to watch a movie, but I'll tell you why. Maybe you should stream it instead. You know, stream it instead of going to the theater.
I'll take that. Your level of me checking it out. Fine.
Stream it instead of going to the theater. I did think the concept was cool. Great concept of it. Poorly executed. Super slow burn to where it was just like there should be more of a backstory to this character that they're kind of showing this just fucking walking through the woods damn near through the whole movie. There should be more of a backstory to it, which would have which from a fan like myself would have enjoyed this a hell of a lot more. But it just felt like you're just watching a dude walk through the woods. There were some awesome kills, and don't get me wrong, but I feel like there should have been more to it. There should have been more of a story to it.
Okay. All right. So that is why. So what we'll do is we'll say not watch the movie, but we'll say
stream or not stream. I mean,
check it out at some point in your life. It's not a rush.
Stream or theater. We have a thing for that.
We do.
Oh, stream or theater.
Stream it. So, all right, Paul, why should I go see this movie?
In theater.
So this movie to me is like for a lot of times the slasher films I don't really care about because they're all pretty much the same. It's just epic kills. The stories are very much similar, tales of revenge, things like that. So to me, this was kind of like a whiskey if the others were comparable to beer. This was different. This isn't for your typical movie goer. So a lot of friends I've recommended it to, I've been like, unless you really enjoy cinema, I don't think you'll like this just as a horror fan because they did a lot of things differently that I like. Like I love the slow burn because I thought it built it better. I like that they didn't have a musical score during it, that they really engulfed you in the forest sounds. The shots were beautiful. I wanted to see it again just to see the different angles and figure out how they actually got some of these shots. The atmosphere was top notch. Let's see. I mean, those kills, they were graphic. They were very raw. They're very unapologetic. Like those kills were pretty insane. Okay. And as for me, I like that there was less story because to me, I think slashers with a lot of heavy story, I don't need that. I see a slasher just to see the epic kills. So the fact that they were very quick in why he's doing this and what brings him out, I thought was just enough to where I was like, this is great. And I kind of like that it was kind of left up to your imagination, kind of how it ends. So it's almost open-ended. I wouldn't say completely. And as for why to see it in theater, I think for me, because I'm big on sound. So like I said, they have no musical score. So you're not really toning if a scene's about to get intense or not, because you're just hearing the nature sounds. So to me, I think you need to see that in theater unless you have a superb surround sound system where you can feel fully engulfed. I think you need to be in a dark theater to really grasp everything this movie was trying to be.
All right. I gotta be honest, I'm leaning towards going to see it.
I mean, I'm not gonna
you got a rebuttal though
with the visual beauty of the movie. I just don't feel, and I love going to the movies too, as you guys know, so this is tough for me. But for this one, I just feel like you're better off waiting for it to be streamed because I don't think the reward is worth going to the movies for this film at all. I really don't. I'm not mad I went. I don't regret going because that's one of my things I do. So again, it's weird for me to argue this, but at the same time, I feel if this movie was on streaming and in theaters tomorrow, and someone's like, "Yo, which one should I do?" I love doing both. I'm like, "Yo, just stream it, man. It's worth just just stream it tomorrow. But if you feel like you need to see it, I'd say go to the theater. Like it's a weird argument, but if you feel like you need to see it like ASAP, I'd say go to the theater. If you feel like you can wait, I'd say this is definitely worth a wait and stream.
Well, it's funny because you've both been on Real Combat before, and actually starting one with Blood Lake.
I did.
Of all things, one of the worst movies of all time. So for him to argue this, which I know has to be better than Blood Lake,
by far,
it's very fun. So I rendered my verdict. And I know that I'm going to see In a Violent Nature in the theaters. Woo. Sturdy, you put up a good argument. You put up a good rebuttal. But this man's passion sold me from the beginning. His passion and the love of horror. You know, I don't think I've met anyone who loves horror just as much.
I should have cheated.
You should have cheated.
Should have did this.
Looks good, man.
Hell yeah!
I forgot to put the green,
the blue screen.
And,
it still works.
And if I can just say one quick thing about this movie too, like not to because you already made your decision, but I will say for me, this is another IFC Shudder. So I am very excited to see because they keep setting the bar really high with Late Night with the Devil and now this. They've set the bar where I expect them to continue to make good movies like this. So I really hope that all the ones to come are this good because they've set the bar high for themselves. And I pray they don't let it go or sell out or just give up and not really try because
I don't think they will because it's such a smart way to fucking sorry for swearing to have it as
it's fine. We have been doing that the whole time.
A Shudder exclusive, so to speak. You put it out in theaters, but then you make sure you show Shudder. So then it's like when people get home, they know it's going to Shudder. Yeah, right. And it's you don't have to play the stupid guessing game. Like there's times where you're watching a horror movie or any type of movie. I'm just speaking horror because this is a horror movie, and you're like, all right, when it comes out to streaming, where is it going? When is it coming out, and where is it going? With this, Shudder's just like boom. It's when it comes out, it's coming right to us, and they're not bad at giving you a date either. Like a month or two later, like September 14th, this movie will be here, or whatever whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. So
all I know is the next movie I am most excited about coming out is Beverly Hills Cop 4.
Ooh,
that trailer looks amazing. I'm so excited. They got pretty much everyone back.
Heck yeah.
I'm all in. And they're going to even make fun of the third one, which Eddie Murphy hated. But I will go and see this in theaters. It is playing all week, and I definitely want to check it out.
Nice.
But I'll also watch it on Shudder too for you, Sturdy. You both won in Real Combat tonight. But thank you guys for joining in. But before we go, remember, mixed movie pick. And this is actually inspired by a discussion Sturdy and I have been talking about. And I'll let him elaborate on what he's doing. But this mixed movie pick all month long of the month of June, I'm going to be discussing on the Classic Film Review black films that are very influential. And, I'm excited for it. And that's actually perfect. Perfectly. I love it. Tomorrow's is going to be Malcolm X in 1992, the Spike Lee film starring Denzel Washington, Angela Bassett.
That's a great film. Such a great movie.
Absolutely
Phenomenal,
amazing.
movie.
And one of my favorite stories when we did Three Bros Show back in film school, we made movies like Second Grade of Love and a few others. One of my buddies, Alex, came in. And he was a black man, and he walked in and I'm ironing and I'm watching Malcolm X. And he goes, "Isn't this movie for black people?" And I was like, "Not exclusively." I was like, "It is a biopic."
That is very true. I get that, though. I don't know. I feel weird sometimes when I end up watching American History X because, you got to get to the end to get, a beautiful story because the first half is pretty rough just to watch.
That movie, that and Fight Club were never for me. Anyway, check this out tomorrow on the YouTube. I just want to finish that off, but I want to hear your point for sure.
No, that was it. I was just saying, I'm just thinking of other movies where, I've had people walk in at the wrong time. They're like, "What the fuck are you watching?" Are you about that? And I'm like, no, I'm not.
Well, that was it led to a really great conversation about movies because we were talking about movies shouldn't be separated from anyone. But